Games I beat in 2018! Hi, Tylord here with one last video for 2018. This video I kind of want to reflect on 2018 as far as the games I beat. I tried to finish quite a few, but I could only actually complete about a handful of them. Some of them were a mouthful, so it took me a while to chew them. I'm happy I beat the ones I did. I had quite a few games on my to beat list for 2018, but I didn't quite get through them. I get sidetracked with other things. I don't have a lot of time to play them, and then sometimes when I do, I just end up watching YouTube all day or texting my buddies. Anyway, so this video is kind of inspired by Alex. DatGameCollector did a video on all the games he beat in 2018. He beat quite a few. I think it was like 32. I'm not up to that yet. Another guy that used to beat quite a few every year was MarkTheGameShark. I remember last year, 2017, I think he beat 52 games. I think he was too busy this year to complete quite that many. But anyway, I'll go through my list of games I beat in 2018. Okay, so the first one I beat, as far as I can remember, it was Phantasy Star 2 for Sega Genesis. I played it on the Sonic Genesis collection for PlayStation 3. I beat that back in like early January, maybe late January. I'm really proud of myself for beating Phantasy Star 2. That was a tough game for me to get through, really confusing. It's the first turn-based role-playing game I've ever played through in 2018. I don't know how many hours it took. It felt like 50 hours it took me. It could have been more, could have been less. But I'm really happy with myself for beating that game. And actually, I was kind of sad to complete it because I was kind of forming a bond with that game. It started off like a chore, but then by the end, I was kind of sad to see it over. And then I didn't realize, I guess I could have cheated. This thing has save states, but I didn't realize it did until after I beat it. This is a nice collection to have, this PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 game, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection. There, you can do save states and everything. Another one I beat early in 2018 was Vanquish. This one was recommended to me by Kamikaze S0undwavez, who was hyping this game up big time, and it lived up to his hype. I really enjoyed this game. I think I like it more than Gears of War, those type of cover action games. Really over the top, really fast paced. It doesn't have two-player like Gears of War. It might even have been better if it had that. You could play with a buddy. My favorite video game director did this, Shinji Mikami, that did Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4. A couple of other games I started by him, but I didn't finish them, was Evil Within 2 and Shadow of the Damned. Shadow of the Damned. I started those two games this year, but I didn't complete them. I did complete this one, though. This was for the backlog challenge that DGC put on. So I'm glad I experienced this game. And then another one in early 2018 I finally beat. This one was on my backlog forever. Shenmue 2 on the original Xbox. Shenmue 1 was one of my favorite games ever made. I played it through a few times back then. I really enjoyed that experience on Dreamcast. This thing came around, and I don't know why I never got into it. I felt really overwhelmed with it. It's a really different game than Shenmue 1. I really got confused and overwhelmed with this when I first started playing it, back when I originally got it, so I never completed it. I'm pretty sure my brother did. But anyway, Shenmue 1 was just my favorite thing ever. And I put this off too long, and I told myself I had to beat this before Shenmue 3 comes out, which I pre-ordered on the Kickstarter. Anyway, so this was part of the backlog challenge that DGC did as well. This is the favorite game I completed in the backlog challenge. I've gushed about this a million times, but I'm really glad I finally beat this. I think I like it as much as Shenmue 1 after I figured out what kind of game it was and after I played through it. I finally beat Final Fantasy X this year. I actually beat it on my Vita. I think it's the same game on PS3 and PS4. I think it has all the same achievements, and I think you can even do the save states, or the game saves transfer over. All I know is the achievements show up for every time I got an achievement on it for Vita, it showed up for the PS3 and the PS4 as well. So I have the version on PS3 and Vita. I beat it on Vita. That was a really fun experience. This is a game I always liked the look of it back then, and I started playing it, but I was not into those turn-based role-playing games. I just did not have the patience for them. I played a little bit. I think you get your whole team together and you go out on a ship, and I kind of lost interest with it there because I was just in that patience for that turn battle stuff. But I think I missed out because I finally played through this. I finally have the patience. After playing Phantasy Star 2, I had the patience for anything. So this was a blast to play after that. Just a really fun story, fun game. It's kind of fun to grind and level up your characters in this. It's a really fun level up system in here. Okay, so these are kind of lazy beats fighting games. And I don't even know if these two count. Segalasious will tell me if these count or not. So I beat this one, but I played through the game, but I can't beat Dural at the end. The final boss, you only get one chance. But then the game is over as if you beat it. So I don't know if that's considered beating it or not. Same thing with this one. I played this through a bunch. I can get to Dural without losing a round, but then I can't beat the boss. Virtua Fighter 4 or Virtua Fighter 5 on 360 and Virtua Fighter 4 on PlayStation 2. So I doubt that even counts as completing the game, but I think I played through them enough to say I played through them or beat them. I don't know. So I'm not even going to count those. Soul Calibur 5. I finally got that. I know Soul Calibur 6 came out this year, but I just got this one at a yard sale. It was $1 or $2. And I played through the story mode, which was really melodramatic. Decent game. I'm not really into these Soul Caliburs, but I had a little bit of fun. I spent the afternoon one Saturday completing that. Not completing it, beating it. Oh, and then after playing Shenmue 2, I played through the remastered versions of 1 and 2. I played through each of them 2 more times. I played through Shenmue 1 twice and Shenmue 2 twice on the PlayStation 4 remastered. Got all the achievements. I think that those are only the 2 platinums I've ever gotten, or complete trophies. I think Fallout 3 I did. And maybe Resident Evil 5. These are like the 3rd and 4th games I've completed. Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. I'd beaten many of these games before, but I'm going to count the original Street Fighter on here. I could never ever touch that game. I thought it was a clunky mess, and I still do, but I always tried to duke it out with the computer, and I just got my butt kicked. I finally figured out you can just spam fireball. You can kill the enemies with like 2 or 3 fireballs, so you can just play through the game like that. So I finally beat Street Fighter 1, or Fighting Street as it's called on TurboGrafx. I really appreciate Street Fighter for being there because it led to better things, but I don't know, it hasn't aged very well. I'm glad I finally beat it though. Like I said, don't try to duke it out unless you're really, really good at fighting games. And then the input doesn't always work. I just kept spamming those fireball moves and the uppercut moves, and every once in a while they would pop out. And you just have to hit the guys like once or maybe 2 or 3 times and you kill them, even Sagat at the end. And then I did beat Vanilla, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 New Generation, and Second Impact. That's the first time I ever beat those 2. I used to play Third Strike on Dreamcast a lot, but this year's the first time I ever played through the New Generations and Second Impact, so I don't even know if those count. It's like the same game as Third Strike. Okay, and I was really happy to squeeze this one in this year. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda, The Breath of the Wild. Oh man, what a freaking great game. I wouldn't argue with anyone if they said this is the best game ever made. Holy crap. I'm still playing it right now, but I started playing it around Black Friday. I think we went in there later on and we got a Switch and this game. We had a free $50 coupon at GameStop when we bought the Switch. So we got this. I was playing it non-stop in my free time. It took me about a month to beat it. And I think I only took like 17 hours to beat it. But it felt like a long time. Like any time you play the game, you can get a lot accomplished within a half hour. And it feels like a long time when you play it. It feels like you're traveling around in this big world. Holy crap. My best friend through Skype was giving me little hints. I didn't look at the internet too much. I did get a couple hints. I didn't look at the guide or anything. Now I'm trying to go try to find those shrines. So I'm kind of looking at the internet now. Yeah, beat this game. I thought the boss fight was pretty cool. I was hearing a lot of people talking trash about the boss fight. I remember the Ocarina of Time boss fight being pretty epic. I would say this is pretty close. It's pretty darn easy, but I kind of appreciate it being easy after some of the crap I went through on this. The last phase of Ganon in the castle, he reminds me of a Resident Evil boss. Like, he's a big demon guy, like with a scorpion body that crawls around. Yeah, Ganon's last form reminds me of the Red Bull from The Last Unicorn. He's like a big giant flaming pig at the end of this. It really reminds me of that big flaming Red Bull from The Last Unicorn. Yeah, if you haven't seen The Last Unicorn, I recommend it. It really gave me the creeps when I was a kid. It's kind of like a fantasy movie. It's an animation. Yeah, so beat Zelda on Christmas Eve, actually, so it took me about a month to beat it. And I'm still trying to find the shrines and take pictures of stuff and find those Zelda memories. I still have a lot to do. I just wanted to get this beat before the end of the year so I could have another game off my list. And then Zone of the Enders 1 and 2. This was a gift from DGC. I beat Zone of the Enders 1. I really enjoyed it. And then I'm playing through 2 right now, but I got sidetracked with Zelda. 2 is really hard for me. I don't know if it's a struggle for me. I scrape by the skin of my teeth with every boss on this. I'm pretty close to the end, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. But anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with part 2. Zone of the Enders 1 I beat, so that's another one I can scratch off for 2018. Yeah, so that's about it. I did beat other games this year, but they were games I'd beaten a million times before. I usually beat Kung Fu every year. Mario 1, 2, 3. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Ninja Gaiden, Golden Axe. So those are games I always just go back to and play through. But these are the first time victories for me. I need to start playing more fighting games because those are easy beats. Or quick beats, I should say. A lot of them are pretty hard, but you can get through those pretty fast. So that's it for the games I beat in 2018. I would be curious to hear what other people have to say, what games they beat. So I probably beat under a dozen this year. Yeah, I probably only beat like 10 games this year, new games. Anyway, so while I'm here, I want to share some of the Christmas gifts I got. I got some nice things from my family. Call of Cthulhu for PlayStation 4. I don't know if I'm ever going to have time to play through this. I really wanted this one because I enjoyed the Xbox game Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth. I know this is not the same game. I still want to give it a try. I think my mother got me this, of all people. Such a satanic game. Anyway, I went through a phase where I really liked reading those H.P. Lovecraft short stories. Really creepy and unsettling. So I'm hoping this will live up to the Xbox One that I enjoyed a lot. And then a game I've been wanting for quite a while, my wife got for me for Christmas, Yakuza Dead Souls. Yakuza 0 is actually on my backlog. I played that for about 5 to 7 hours. But this is the one I always wanted to play. It was recommended to me by Radarcannon. I think he played through it on a one of the backlog challenges, and it looked really cool. It looks like Yakuza meets Resident Evil 5. It looks really awesome to me, like a game I'd really, really like. So I can't wait to play that. And then wifey got me some dollar store specials for Christmas. These are really awesome though. Some Street Fighter little figurines. She got all 12 of them, so I guess it was a nice little $12 gift. I got a Ryu, a Zangief, a Chun-Li, a Blanca, E Honda, Vega, Kin Masters, Dalsim, Guile, Sagat, Balrog, and M. Bison. So she got me that whole collection of dollar store figurines. I don't know if I'm going to take them out and set them up on a shelf or just leave them in here. I don't know, they don't look very nice in the case. I might just set them up. They'll probably just end up in my little girl's hands, and they'll leave them all over the floor, and I'll step on them. Anyway, so that'll do it for this week. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and holidays, and hope everyone has a good New Year. I'll talk to you later. Bye.